Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, good week. It's going to be a great week. We're a week and a day away from Election Day. Let me see. 8 days from election. You know why? Because I'll be happy when it's over. I will be absolutely god-awful happy when Election Day is over. I'm tired of Election Day. Still got to vote, so I got to figure out when I'm going to vote because all your cousins, your grandparents, aunties, uncles, and nephews keep going, and I'll be like, oh, it's a 3-hour wait. I'm not waiting 3 hours to vote. I got trouble waiting 3 minutes to vote. Y'all want me to wait 3 hours? And y'all didn't care about nothing else every time you voted. You never showed up on time, right? Oh, well, it's coming. Tomorrow night, we got Truth on Politics. I'm going to take it from a different perspective tomorrow. I'm going to ask questions, and that's it. Because everybody complained last, oh, you're supposed to be the moderator. So what you want is one perspective, one thing, nobody's challenged about anything, and I only want to hear things that I support and I agree with, and that's it. So I'm like, okay, fine. Fine. That's fine. Because in the end, nothing's going to change. Like, we're going to keep having the same thing. Same thing's going to happen. Nobody's promised you anything. You didn't ask for anything, and you're not getting anything. At least ask. At least make how you feel known. But we don't even do that. So I don't understand. Well, I did. Saturday, I made my presence known. So if you missed the Truth Summit, one, thank you to all the people that were there. Thank you for One Milwaukee being our sponsor. Thank you for being there. They assisted a lot of people with a lot of resources. Thank you to Shawnee's Exquisite Catering. I'm going to tell you, somebody said something stupid on Saturday. Men don't eat charcuterie. Men don't eat charcuterie. And I went, you're right. I took 3 of them things home. Loved it. Watch this. You ready? I just didn't get to eat it. Because wife and mother-in-law said, oh, charcuterie. Poof, and inhaled it, and it was gone. I was like, wow. Like, was one of them yours? Like, what do you mean one of them mine? I had 3. It's only 2 of y'all. Yeah, but, oh, okay. I'll be going out to get something to eat because that food that Shawnee made for Saturday at the Truth Summit was like the bomb, and it was great. It was nice. So we had a great time. Thank you to all our regulars. Terrence Moore was there. Miss Rose was there. Thank you to all the guests, all the panelists. We had a great time. And next year we want to do it bigger and better. Of course, want to do it bigger and better. So we'll just keep moving and moving and moving. But something struck me on Saturday. Now, I'm going to make a few admissions that people already know, but they don't know. So in social and professional engagements, greetings a lot of times establish the atmosphere, right? Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good morning, right? Depends on where you are. Nonetheless, cultural conventions are subject to what I like to call evolution, and a growing number of individuals, me included. Now, you ready? I choose to fist bump as a form of greeting. I believe that honoring this desire is crucial in promoting comfort and mutual respect. I don't shake hands anymore. I fist bump. Some people I shake hands with, some people I don't. Recently, I've adopted fist bumping as a preferred form of greeting for personal reasons. Several individuals respond by saying, oh, you don't want to shake my hand. And I reply, what should I reply, Jason? Like if somebody says, oh, you don't want to shake my hand, what should I reply?
I mean, you can say, I clearly don't want to shake your hand.
I just say no. And then they get mad. They shake their head, which I kind of take as a form of disdain, as total disrespect for my wishes. So you want what you want, but if you can't get what you want, you get mad, even though it's something personal to me. Like I don't literally have to shake your hand. I don't have to, I can fist bump, right? My primary rationale for favoring fist bumping, right, is health awareness. Research indicates handshakes can transmit a greater quantity of bacteria than fist bumps, a matter of heightened concern since COVID. I now favor the latter, fist bumping, as a more sanitary choice, but it's for my personal wellness. Now, recognizing my desire demonstrates empathy and regard for my well-being. That means you might actually care about me by allowing me to fist bump you. But of course, clearly this ain't the case. So another consideration for me is personal comfort. Let me be very clear with this. Everybody that knows me will tell you this. I candidly acknowledge my discomfort with physical touch, stemming from cultural factors, anxiety, personal boundaries. A fist bump for me provides a straightforward It's not intrusive. It's an option. For men while preserving connection. The observance of these boundaries, I call, right? Boundaries, by other people, I think reflects your emotional intelligence and guarantees my sense of safety in a social atmosphere. In other words, not all y'all wash your hands and do things properly. I'm just saying. In professional environments, I contend that adaptability is absolutely essential. Leaders, colleagues, men, whoever, have to acknowledge that communication encompasses not only verbal, but the manner in which we welcome and interact with people. So if they only want to do fist bump, you do a fist bump. Refusing to accommodate a minor gesture like a fist bump, for me, induces discomfort and conveys inflexibility on your part to me. Embracing an alternative, for me, welcomes and demonstrates emotional awareness and an adaptability to evolving social conventions, right? Not everything has to stay the same. Some things change. So to my surprise in these instances and understandability, people seem to only really care about themselves, which is okay because then I only care about myself. And I agree with the sentiment, except when it comes to me. So ultimately, my selection of a fist bump, do you agree? 833-212-1017. Is a fist bump okay? Because for me, it's a personal decision. Honoring that decision exemplifies, I think, mutual respect. You want to shake my hand, and I want a fist bump. You get upset that I don't want to shake your hand, I'm going to still fist bump. If you don't want to, I've had a guy grab my fist, and I said, don't do that. Like, if I don't want to shake your hand, don't do that. Why is it a problem when it's somebody else, but when it's you, you have to get your way? And I'm talking about something personal for me. Like, if you don't shake my hand, it's okay. If you do shake my hand, it's not okay. I'm just saying. I think we also foster some type of trust. Minor activities like this shows respect for my personal boundaries. And it's equally significant that I show respect for yours as well. Now, it's a boundary, right? It's a place I want you to stop, not something I want you to do. So if you want to shake my hand and I don't want to shake your hand and I fist bump you, you should be okay with that. Well, what if the person wants to shake your hand? You want to shake my hand, therefore I get to choose. If I want to shake your hand, then you get to choose. But if I go to fist bump you and you don't want to fist bump, I'm okay not fist bumping. But both of us should get to choose our own boundary. I think it sends a great message when you're greeting somebody. They kind of look at your hand like, ugh, you don't want to shake hands? No, I don't. I used to laugh at this woman who used to wear gloves all the time back in the 90s, back in the 80s, right? I used to laugh at that. And then I realized she was right. She had personal boundaries. Minor activities such as these illustrate the respect for my personal boundaries is equally significant, not just significant, as the message sent through the greeting itself. The fact that you would let me fist bump you and say hello is as important as me shaking your hand and saying hello. What's my alternative? I stay by myself. Which kind of begs the question, should I bump or run?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, it is the effective communication coach, Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Look, y'all, I got to let you know that the best morning show on planet Earth is now streaming live on YouTube every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, Truth Telling Hits with Telly and Truth Swiping are coming at you live and in color every weekday on YouTube. So go to YouTube right now to subscribe to 1017 The Truth and watch Telly and I do our thing and get your morning started off right. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Make Milwaukee work for you. 1MKE provides easy-to-use information on local, state, and federal programs that can save you money and improve your well-being. Discover events you can attend to get involved in your community and find nonpartisan resources to help you make your voting plan for the upcoming election. 1MKE envisions a future where every Milwaukee resident understands how being civically engaged can help us create a healthier, stronger city. Because together, we are one Milwaukee. Learn more at 1mke.org.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. So I was going to tease you and say, dude, I usually play something slow at 42. And then I realized it's Erykah Badu. Like, there's nothing fast. Like, nothing. Not even, like, Erykah Badu's fast. Erykah Badu's fast is medium. And it's barely medium. Like, she sped up a couple. Like, that's it. I was like, you going to play something slow? Like, what's up with that?
I was looking, everything's slow.
Well, then everything's like slow. I was like, yeah, okay. Hey.
Listen, I love Erykah Badu.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I mean, what we gonna do with Marquette Hilltoppers, dude? Like, what we gonna do with them? They are like whooping the snot out of everybody.
We keep winning.
They keep winning and winning and winning. We got Gruber this week coming up. We got Truth on Politics tomorrow. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess this week. It's going to be a crazy week. It's the last week before elections. What I'm going to do Monday? What am I going to do Monday night? What am I going to do Monday night? I don't know what I'm going to do Monday night. I don't know. 833-212-1017 is the number. James, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, Dr. Ken, fine. Do I say good afternoon or good evening?
You can say good afternoon and good evening. How's that?
Okay, good afternoon and good evening.
All right.
In reference to your fist bump, the most important thing to me is if I reach my hand out to shake your hand and you give me a fist bump, to me, I'm fine with that because we acknowledge one another.
Okay.
I think that's the most important part.
Okay.
However, we acknowledge one another.
Okay.
And I would probably say with this election you were saying earlier about we're not really going to get anything. I think the sad thing about the election to me is this, is all those long lines that people are standing in, but yet and still we have the different things going on with our local government, which nobody's holding our elected officials accountable for anything.
Ain't bothered to say or do anything.
Exactly.
I thought that was just me.
That's the part that's funny to me.
I thought that
No. I looked at long lines. I said, okay, so we're going to get whoever we get in president. It's not going to make a difference for us, no way. But what about elected officials? See, do we do right here to make city Milwaukee better?
No.
Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's holding nobody accountable.
Not only that, we're going to keep the same U.S. senators. We're going to keep the same Congress people. We're going to keep the same everything because we feel good. And people take it as, you hate the Democratic Party, you're conservative. I'm conservative, but I'm not a Democrat. I vote Democrat and Republican. I vote, some of my best friends are Democrats, and I voted for them, love them to this day, and will vote for them hands down. But you got to give me something. You got to give me something. You got to do something.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think most people just get in line because we got a black woman running for president.
Period.
Oh, well, we put a black woman in office.
Period.
Okay.
We want to say we got the first black woman, just like we said, we got the first black man. I voted for Barack Obama because I truly believed that there were going to be some things that needed to change, and some of the things I wanted him to change, he did. But one thing I love the fact that he did is he reminded you, I ain't y'all president, I'm everybody president.
Amen.
Who happens to be black,
totally agree with you,
who understands how to be a black man in America. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
But he still said, no, I can't do that because I'm the president of everybody. That would be a little over, you know. He explained stuff. He told you this is what I can do. This is what I'm going to try to do. We got nothing from Kamala Harris. Well, you can't say that. You got to pour. Or you're misogynistic.
In her one commercial,
and that's a lie.
Her one commercial, when they asked her, like, is there anything that you would have done differently than Biden? I probably would have said, okay, you know, I may not have specifically said what it was. I would have said, yeah, there's some things I didn't agree with, but we won't get into that. There's some things I would have done differently. But to act like everything he did was on point and there's nothing you would change, man, something wrong with you.
Biden is a non-entity. You can bash the crap out of Biden. He's not running. Exactly. That is your time to say, yeah, he did such and such, and I don't agree with that. And I had a conversation, and we talked, but he's the president, and because he's the president, he made the final decision. Done. Right? You didn't bash him, but it's okay to we are so against disagreeing with people that we let garbage go through, and now the city has a tax. The county tax went up, but the county's still short. Ain't nobody said what we gonna do about that. Like, and nobody's asking any questions. All they worried about is a presidency that hasn't really touched them anyway. And if you think in the black community,
he was hiding up in Madison,
right?
Yeah, he was just hiding up in Madison. Just, you know, you guys handle it. You guys handle it. You take care of it. You know.
And he got his people handling stuff. Meanwhile, you and I both know the black community talks abortion, they just don't do it.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
And it's few and far between. The one thing you would never go around talking about when you in the black community, and forgive me, I'm not a woman, but I've rarely heard women talk about the fact that they had an abortion.
Yes,
it's kept very quiet.
I agree with that as well.
I think that's a respectful way. I think that it's a personal business thing. Personal business. It's your personal business, and it's your medical privacy.
That's how I feel about it.
If you feel that way, then I'm going to support you 110%. I can support you and not something you did, and I can disagree with it. Don't mean I hate you. Don't mean But at some point, we got to stop bashing people and making them feel bad for doing something that you disagree with.
Right.
That I
Amen.
have
I
a
agree with
problem.
you, Dr. Ken.
That I got a problem.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
All right, brother.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
taking my call. I love you. Have a good evening.
You too. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, what you got today? I ain't talked to you since Friday.
Well, the only thing I was going to say, the local elections, I think we need to get a little more involved.
How about a lot more? How about a lot more involved?
Yeah, because that too, because we're being looked past, and I think also we need to start pulling the rug from under the feet of some of these politicians, because when we look at it, we really don't have no allies, and then when you do ask them something, they kind of drag their feet.
But wait, is a politician an ally, or is a politician somebody that works for me?
Well, I mean, they work for us, but a lot of times they usually end up working for the other side. Prime example, like when you look at the potholes or when you look at the things that's happening in the community, they feel they can throw us something very low,
like those
idiotic housing and things.
Like those idiotic plastic things they put on the corners to stop people from reckless driving, and people just ran right over them. That idiocy, yeah. And I feel like we're not really making it known, and also if you look at housing authority, a situation that was created here, but you're going to give an outside company, and believe it or not, Milwaukee is the duplex capital of the world, where these out of town companies is buying in. But when we look at the people that we put there, that we vote, who's supposed to work for us, is actually putting their dedication, determination, motivation, and inspiration to elevate other communities. And then when we ask them something, they have nothing to say. So I think it's just as well we vote them in. We have to vote them out, because that's the only way we're going to get ahead. And also, we got to start doing better within our communities, because some of this gentrification is coming is from the lack of saying it's the hood when they know we live in a neighborhood. So I'm just going to say that and just leave the rest of that alone. But that's what I really think we need to focus on, because we're getting the wrong end of the stick. Thank you much. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm in agreement. I mean, where are we going? Like, what do we get? Okay, so Kamala Harris wins. She's president. We have a vice president in Walls, who seems to be a bumbling idiot, but right up there with the bumbling idiot things that Donald Trump says that are like bumbling idiocy, right? You can tell he's approaching 80, right? So now what? You just feel good? And you rah-rah? She can't change Roe v. Wade. What are we doing? That's the only thing? We got so many other issues in this country that, frankly, the president can just hold it together. I don't know if they have the ability, the current one, the prior ones, to do certain things that we want done in our community. We need to be talking to our mayor. We need to be talking to our governor and our county executive. And if they don't give you the things that you believe you should have, they should get bounced. There's like no other way around it. We keep talking about stuff, but then nothing changes. I'm telling you, I thought this city, barring a few neighborhoods, which I was used to because I was from Chicago, was one of the best kept secrets in the Midwest I had seen when I moved here in 93. I couldn't understand how, well, no, let me rephrase that. I could understand how people moved to Milwaukee. Then I checked out the neighborhood festivals and the Summer Fest and River Splash when they was doing River Splash before people, your knucklehead friends came and all that. It was great. I was like, wow, this is astounding. And then people start complaining. We don't want you to do this. We don't want you to do that. And all those protections that kept black families, black households safe got stripped away. That thing of throwing a baby out with the bathwater? You've heard it, but you know how that... Okay, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it after traffic, weather, and sports. But it just does me, it just kills me to know that we're one step away from greatness, but then we choose mediocrity.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
CBS Mondays. Grab your gear and head out with the team. NCIS.
We got less than 24 hours. Keep digging.
Followed by the new series NCIS Origins, starring Austin Stoll.
We're gonna get the guy who did this.
A new NCIS, followed by NCIS Origins. CBS tonight, 9/8 Central on CBS.
The CBS 58 News at 10 with Natalie Shepard.
I think if you watch the other stations, you might think nothing good ever happens in Milwaukee, and we know that's just not true.
And Jessup Riceback.
We do find solutions to some issues in our communities.
We are focused on finding stories that are impactful, and I think that's something that really sets our newscasts apart.
It is an honor to sit in those chairs on that desk and help tell those stories.
Jessup and Natalie. Weeknights at 10 on CBS 58, your hometown station.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
It's your girl Noni Juice, here for my people at Steinhafels. And you guys, Black Friday furniture and mattress savings, they start right now at Steinhafels. You can get all the latest looks at the season's best prices, like mattresses starting at just $199, recliners at $449, sofas at $499, and more. Plus, you can pay with Steinhafels' special 18-month 0% financing when you purchase $799 or more. No money down, no hidden fees. Shop Steinhafels' Black Friday savings now, in store or online at steinhafels.com.
Well, we do kind of have a heavy ride along southbound 43, starting from just before Fond du Lac Avenue down past the Marquette, all the way down to the KK River. Westbound 94 is also slowing down from before 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from Highway 100 crossing into Waukesha County. Looks like we've got a crash just as you're crossing past the county line itself. Luckily, it's all on the right shoulder, but that's just something to remember. Also, cars on the left shoulder as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, isolated showers, very mild, windy with a low of 58. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, warm with a high of 80. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Green Bay Packers snagged their fourth straight win on Sunday afternoon. Jordan Love exited the game early in the third quarter to a groin injury as Malik Willis orchestrated a game-winning drive to put the team in field goal range for kicker Brandon McManus.
McManus for the second straight week. A Green Bay Packers game-winning field goal.
The 30-27 win. The Packers improving to 6-2 on their season.
Really proud of our guys. Just it wasn't our cleanest game, I would say, but I thought just the ability to find a way to get it done. Ultimately, that's what it's all about.
Next up for the Packers is the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field on Sunday afternoon. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks fell for the second straight time. This one in Brooklyn to the Nets by a final score of 115-102. They'll get right back at it tonight in Boston. Tip-off for that game is set for 6:30. And lastly, over to baseball, where the World Series will march on tonight, this time in New York. The Dodgers currently leading that series 2-0. Game 3's first pitch set for 7:08. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It was a stormy night, you know, the kind where the lightning strike. And I was hanging out with some of my artsy friends. Ooh, you. The night was long, the night went on. We were cooling out through the break of dawn. Incense was burning, so I'm feeling right. I picked my friends like I picked my fruit. Again, he told me that when I was only a youth, I don't walk around trying to be with.
You're listening to Truth Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number 4 Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get the look you want with your house with customizable windows and doors that are quality tested. Pella's offerings include fold-away hardware, custom colors, ease of maintenance, shades with between the glass. It's all kind of, listen, they got integrated roll screens, noise reduction, all those things. You can even celebrate Gina Della's 60th birthday with a special offer. Put 0% down, 0% interest for 60 months. That's right, 0 for 60 for Gina's 60th birthday. Certain restrictions apply. Book your appointment on or before November 8th. It's coming up soon. Halloween is when? Like Thursday? Yeah, y'all better get moving. Get started. Go to PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. Good seeing you this weekend, said Dion. I agree with you, Dr. Ken. Milwaukee's so laid back when I first moved here as well. It is. It was. Dion, how long you been here? Because I've been here 31 years. Had to clear my throat so I could clear my brain. 31 years I've been here. And I'm not really, it's not getting better. And I think it should. I think it will. I hope. Maybe kind of, maybe kind of, sort of. But yeah, it was good seeing you this weekend, Dion. Truth Summit was this weekend. We had a really good time talking about policy and politics and those types of things that happen in cities like ours. We talked about education and what we can do for higher ed versus K-12 versus the mentoring piece on top of that. So if you have any comments or if you attended, 833-212-1017 is the number. So there was this I was going to try to talk about it, but you know how time gets away from you and then you have to do stuff and then you got to log into a computer. Like, hang on. So you got to log into a computer and do things so you can find the article you were looking for, because it was a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Poignant. A very, in the words of Tory Lowe, powerful. But I can't say it like Tory. I can't say it like Tory. I'll say it like. From JS Online. So with the race toward the November 5th election in its final days, incumbent U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin and her Republican opponent, businessman Eric Hovde, have staked out different positions on a key issue in law enforcement. Hovde's backing of congressional passage of the Federal Qualified Immunity Act has won him the endorsement of the state's two largest unions, the MPA, Milwaukee Police Association, and the Wisconsin Professional Police Association. Baldwin, who does not back federal legislation, points to the endorsement she is getting from other officer groups for initiatives she backed to support law enforcement. So basically what it says is the U.S. Supreme Court first recognized qualified immunity in 1967 as a legal defense to allow officials to perform their duties without fear of constantly defending themselves. This includes police officers in civil, not criminal lawsuits, from being held personally liable for constitutional violations, except those that clearly violate established law. Well, in 2014, the Supreme Court held the Plainhoff versus Rickard that police didn't use excessive force in violation of the Fourth Amendment when they shot and killed a driver of a fleeing vehicle to end a dangerous car chase. The court also held that even if the officers used excessive force, they were entitled to qualified immunity because there wasn't clearly established that shooting the driver in these circumstances amounted to excessive force. And currently that protection does not extend to civil cases filed in federal court, but passage of the federal act would extend the coverage. And so the topic of qualified immunity is something that people keep talking about, but not a lot of people understand. Right? A lot of people don't understand. They talk about investing in public safety, but how do you invest in public safety when people don't want to do it because they don't have protection? So who do you know would be a police officer when every single time somebody doesn't like what you do, they sue you? Like, who would take a job like that? Oh, by the way, you can be sued every 5 minutes by anybody you have contact with, by anybody who suggests you did something, and they would poke and poke and poke and poke till you would literally have to get insurance to cover yourself. Who in their right mind would work in a job where you need insurance for your job and it's not a business? It's literally your job and you work for somebody else. Now, if you have your own business, I could see having insurance. But you're working for somebody else and you would need insurance to cover yourself from frivolous lawsuits. I don't know. And so part of the issue with this that I have, and if you have a thought, 833-212-1017, part of the issue I have is people need to understand that you're going to go from some police service, because right now it's kind of short. You know, ain't anybody telling you, but folks ain't signing up to be police officers, to the point where you won't have any at all. You know what that's going to be like, right? What's that TV show where, you know, for 24 hours they suspended suspended crime, and they suspended, you know, habeas corpus, and they suspend. Now you're not going to get in trouble. If so Ray Ray and them was bothering you, we going to take care of Ray Ray and them. Yep. And to think that what they would do to you, like life is only 4 letters. But these 5 letters will literally get rid of you. Purge.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
The WIAA football playoffs is here. We have a huge battle this Friday night as the number 1 seeded Marquette Hilltoppers take on the number 4 seeded De Pere Redbirds. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
There's something about a plate of warm cookies that sends you back in time. Relive your childhood memories with this year's We Energies Cookie Book. Pick up your copy and start creating new memories. Go to WeEnergies.com to find a distribution event near you. Thank you for making us a part of your family traditions. From all of us at We Energies, we offer you warm wishes for a bright holiday season. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Maybe it's me, because I don't listen to a lot of Erykah Badu, but this ain't it.
This is one of her biggest hits.
What I say? This ain't it. This ain't it.
This is literally one of her biggest hits.
This ain't it.
This crazy.
This ain't it. I should get him. Should I get him?
Y'all not listening.
Should I get him? No, you can turn it off. Thank you.
This is crazy.
Thank you. Go away. 833-212. You stepping in so you can play some music?
That's one of the most sampled.
Will do that.
One of the most sampled songs from hip hop artists. One of the most sampled beats.
Look, now this is and it's look. Hey, DJ Brother Z, it's only Monday. You imagine how you're gonna be by Friday?
This is crazy.
It's all right, but it ain't like no fires, dude. It's not.
I don't know.
And now I know why I didn't listen to Erykah Badu on a regular basis.
Y'all over here hating.
Why would you even say that? That's the most ridiculous comment you could possibly make, that you hate something that you just literally don't like or don't care for. It ain't personal, so why would you say I hate? I ain't just hating. God, you are such a Gen Z, boy, I tell you.
I'm just saying, Dr. K. Oh,
what did he say?
Dr. Ken's side.
What did he say?
That's why I like you, Dr. Ken.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, DJ Brother Z.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, just don't do it, dude. That song? Nah.
That's one of her best songs ever.
Nah. I said no. I can disagree.
All right, whatever.
You better call Tyrone.
It's crazy because I'm not going, dang. So you can't be messing up the playlist and the songs that's coming up, Dr. Ken. Dang.
I can. We all caught up on breaks, right? So I could do it. I could do what I do, like Erykah Badu. I could do what I do. No, she's okay. She don't like like when you said it. Well, it's Music Monday. We do Erykah Badu. I was like, Yeah, let him choose the songs.
Well, if you don't like these songs, it's going to be tough because I'm pulling out some of her greatest hits.
It must not have been that great. I'm just saying. They must not have been that great. I'm just saying. White Widow, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Okay, Team Erica Badu here, but nevertheless, I agree, Dr. Ken. What other occupation in a wrongful death are you not convicted, but yet you lose everything because then you're dragged into civil court?
Yep.
So even for civil court under wrongful death, even if you get terminated, my heart kind of went out, because I can imagine. One of the individuals during the George Floyd death with Chavez was a 3-month on-the-job subordinate,
who had no business being fired or charged.
Right, and
he was
it
on
broke my
field
heart.
training.
And now the guy got convicted, and now they're going to drag him through civil court. I'll give you a story. There was a radical union leader in Madison at a paper mill, and they were closing by law 90-day, what the state says. And this Italian guy who had a firewall on his money, he said, come on, started emails with derogatory statements on these supervisors. The plant closed. The supervisor sued the 5 members of that union. 4 of them will never, ever be able to buy a house again. The judgments were millions because of that activity, and the union president skated back to New York without a qualm. So, yeah, you're right. I agree 100%. So I'm on you. I'm with you. So you take care. Thank you for the comment.
All right. And so I think well, first of all, there are limitations to qualified immunity. That's what she was talking about. And so we have to remember that qualified immunity doesn't really... It only covers you in very specific instances. And so if you commit a crime, you're not covered. So qualified immunity would not have saved Derek Chauvin. It should have saved the rookie police officer on field training who didn't know his head from a hole in the wall as it related to what to do. And so to charge him was just, I think, ridiculous. It just made no sense. That's like the new nurse that comes on and she's been on the job about a good month, 3 weeks or whatever, and then all of a sudden the doctor messes up, so they blame her. And she had nothing to do with it, didn't touch anything, didn't handle the patient, nothing. Well, we're gonna just blame her. She was there, but she didn't do anything. Well, she might not have known what to do. Seniority plays a huge part on what to do and what not to do in terms of the interpersonal relationship between law enforcement officers. You have to have a pretty strong will. And I'm going to say it. I had a pretty strong will. I didn't let people walk over me. I didn't care what your rank was. I didn't let people talk down to me. I didn't care what your rank was. And I don't think I ever talked down to anybody unless I was heated or mad. And I remember one time I actually did that because I let some police officers get under my skin, and somebody said, because when I show up, I had to go meet this person. And this person said, you should care for police officers the way you care for criminals. Because I had to check with him. It was a use of force. Hey, is everything okay? Yeah, I went off on him. I don't think I've spoken to him since this day, since that entire day. Never. Terrible. But it's just unfortunate when you work with some people who are just, devoted racists, which I don't really care about. Be racist. Be you. Do you. I'm going to do me. The problem I always had was the other white officers who watched the person be racist and never said anything about it. I even had a supervisor who said, well, why don't you come like I'll be your supervisor because that way you don't have to deal with him. I said that doesn't fix the point. That doesn't fix the point that this supervisor is jacking people in this district because they're black, and instead of you standing up to him, you want to become my supervisor so he doesn't mess with me. There's something missing here. Like, really? Makes no sense. You got to be willing to stand up when nobody else is. You got to be willing to go, no, I'm not doing that. I believe that you're wrong. I believe that this is not right, and I'm not doing it. Because most people won't do it. They want to get paid. They want to keep their job. They want to do all that. And then somebody behind you, after you leave, because they've been doing it over and over and over, somebody ends up getting caught up and something bad happens to them, and you could have fixed it. I've only been in that instance one time in my life, and it never happens again. Ever. Something get messed up, yep. Either I messed it up or somebody else messed it up, and this is what needs to be done to get it fixed. Oh, you're going to throw so-and-so under the bus. Yep. Because if they wanted to save themselves, they would throw me under the bus, except I'm not saving me. I'm trying to save somebody else. Somebody else's life depends on this. So what's the problem? Stepping up and standing up for what's right. Not perfection, just right. Because this not forgiving people drives me crazy. Oh no, if you do that, you can never do that again. Like your entire soul and your entire psyche, your entire brain, you are terrible because you did one thing wrong. You could be alive 80 years, do one thing wrong. Oh, we're going to dismiss you. We cancel too much stuff in this world. And it's unfortunate because we've let go of some really, really powerful people that could have done great things in this country, in this city. But then we get upset because, we didn't like one thing they said or one thing they did. We'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock hour because this comedian that was at Madison Square Garden that opened for Trump said some pretty risque things. We'll also talk about everything else in the Top 5 at 5. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 at 5 up next.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Truth Nation, early voting has begun right here in Milwaukee. From now until Sunday, November 3rd, Milwaukee will have numerous polling locations across the city where you can cast your ballot for this important 2024 election. I want you to know that our vote matters, that your vote matters, and this is your chance to shape our community's future for the better. For more information on early voting, simply Google Early Voting Milwaukee. That is Googling Early Voting Milwaukee to find the nearest polling location near you. Get out and vote early, Milwaukee, from now until November 3rd. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Dear Dad, I don't say this enough, but you're my hero. I know you're not feeling this election, but please do me a favor. Vote. Our Black history, my access to health care, and our voting rights are under attack. Extreme politicians want to take away our voice and our vote. Our future, my future, is on the ballot right now. You have the power to make sure my voice is heard. Please, Dad, use your power. Vote. Like my life depends on it. Paid for by NAACP.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You know, the bad part about it was that when I chose this song, people came up to me and said, "Man, that's a dope song. I didn't think you could choose something like that." Like, what? Like, what? People tend to see you the way you ended up, not the way you were or came up. But anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Truth Nation, tune into our final Truth on Politics tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. on The Truth. This is a great opportunity to find out what you'll need to know about local, national, regional, county, everywhere. All the elections that are going on. They'll even examine, we will examine which presidential candidates will be best for our community. Don't miss Truth on Politics tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. with me, Dr. Ken Harris, Sherwin Hughes, Tori Lowe, Jason Fields, on the award-winning 1017 The Truth Milwaukee Black Talk. So make sure you are here. Carolyn, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, Dr. Ken, how you doing?
It depends.
What does that mean? You're supposed to say, I'm doing great. I'm at work. I'm chopping it up. God is good.
Can't I just say what I want to say? That's what I'm talking about. I can never be me and be authentic or be vulnerable. People tell me what I got to say. Go ahead, Carolyn. What?
Well, about that statement you made about the little rookie police getting in trouble. I kind of half agree with that because I was brought up that if you see something that's wrong, you say something.
That's not as easy to do in the culture of medicine, the law, or law enforcement. That's cute that people say that, but they don't understand the culture.
Trust me, I know.
How?
I know.
How?
I have been in the medical field where I have lost my job because I reported higher up. So yeah,
correct.
I know about that.
Okay,
but see,
I give you that.
Thing. Sometimes you just got to be brave enough to say, "Hey, I'm going to tell on this person."
But when you don't know what to do,
that is harming another person.
But listen to what he got. Listen to what he got in trouble with. He got in trouble for not stopping something that he didn't know was wrong.
Excuse me, he knew that was wrong.
No, he did not.
That's common sense.
Listen to what you don't know what you're talking about because you don't work in law enforcement. When you're new, you don't know what's right. What you don't know.
If you're a human,
you do not know.
If you're a human,
you do not know, and you're reacting emotionally. You're not listening.
No, I'm not.
You are not.
Ken,
You're not listening.
No,
I heard you call me Ken.
That was a human thing.
You are incorrect.
No.
Yes,
no,
you're incorrect.
That's wrong.
You're incorrect.
I don't care if you're a police. I don't care.
You don't know what you're talking about.
The only time you should have your foot on somebody's neck is if the man is fighting you.
That's not what I said. Did you hear what I said? That's not what I said. You're proving my point that people don't. You're proving my point that people don't listen.
We're talking about the man with.
But did you listen to what I said?
Right?
Did you listen to what I said?
You said that the junior cop didn't know what to do.
I'm not calling him a junior officer. I'm calling him a probationary officer, number one. Number two.
Or whatever.
Don't do that because you don't want nobody to dismiss you, so don't dismiss somebody else.
No, I mean, whatever on that.
No, that's very important. That's very important because of this.
Wrong.
At the time, it doesn't matter what you feel. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? At the time, state law in Minnesota, it was not illegal. It was a trained technique to put your knee on a person's neck. So what are we doing?
And then the person died.
It doesn't matter.
And so
listen to what I'm saying. Are you going to let me finish? Okay, is this your talk show or my talk show? Let me finish. No, you're not going to let me finish. I'm going to finish. Caroline. No, but seriously. Seriously. And so what happens is, what happened at the end, he died.
Okay.
So let's look at what happened leading up to that then caused this person to die. That's how he got convicted, right? They used preclusion. They went back and said, at what point should this person have stopped, right? You can't have the same expectation for a brand new person versus the expectation for a seasoned veteran or a supervisor to come in and tell somebody don't do that. Because you're doing a trained technique. You're doing something that was textbook taught. So I don't know he's going to die, but he died. And it was unfortunate, and it was wrong, and it was criminal. But to hold somebody else accountable just for being there, you're just kind of piling on, and you just want to get as many people as possible. And that's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Derek Chauvin should probably spend the rest of his life behind bars.
And that is true. And at some point, Dr. Ken, didn't they say that George Floyd said he couldn't breathe?
Yes. But watch this.
Then wouldn't that be the time for the rookie to say something?
No. Here's why. I have been in the car fighting with people. I've been on the street fighting with people. I've been in instances fighting with people where people always say I can't breathe because they always say I can't breathe. Oh, these handcuffs are too tight because they always want to get the handcuffs loose because they want to try to run. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes, and it's a bad thing that's been retrained to stop cops from thinking, well, if you could talk to me, you can breathe. Well, that's not true. Because you can hold your breath and talk a good 3-4 minutes before you pass out. So that's not true, and that's what happened. Just because he was saying I can't breathe, but in your mind, you've been trained that if a person can talk to you, they can breathe. That's not true. You're running on reserve air in your lungs, and when it runs out, you asphyxiate and die. And that's exactly what happened. That's why he should have gone to jail. Were they trained that? Some of the instances where Minnesota was, let's say, in my estimation, in training. Well, no, I'm not. Let's just say I don't believe the training was up to par nationally. but there's no national standard for training. If that makes sense? Every state does their own law enforcement training, their own education training, their own, right. So in that instance, law enforcement is a career. It's not a profession. Medical doctor is a profession, right? It's the same everywhere. Lawyer, it's both a career and a profession because you got to pass the bar in the state, but there are national standards in order to go to school. All those things. They don't have that for law enforcement. That wouldn't make it better. That would actually make it worse because then somebody from the federal government has control over local law enforcement in Milwaukee. Is that something you'd like?
No.
Well, a couple more of those.
Police force to be able to, I want my police force to be able to police. So my question is this, knowing all this, has the state addressed this? The state of Michigan or whatever?
Minnesota.
I mean,
yes, they have.
You just laid it out there, so okay.
Yes. They've changed their training and all that. Go ahead.
Okay, that's a good one. There's something else, I think, I don't know if you said it or if it was on another show about, they were talking about nobody wants to be a police officer.
Right.
First of all, you couldn't pay me to be a police officer for the number one thing is
right.
I think I should make as much money as a doctor do because I'm getting out there putting my life on the line, dealing with this craziness so you can go to bed and sleep.
So do you understand why I'm sorry, go ahead.
Salary.
But do you understand why medical doctors make so much? You know why medical doctors make so much?
Because they're trying to save your life, and so is a policeman.
Nope. There's a middleman.
Well, why they make money?
There's a middleman in between you paying and them getting paid, called an insurance company. So I can pay the medical doctor or the hospital higher because I'm taking premiums. Well, you know, most people don't go to the hospital even though they pay premiums. Most people don't go to the doctor annually and get checkups and all that, right? So they make trillions of dollars, if not hundreds of billions of dollars off premiums, and then they pay medical doctors because they nickel and dime them to death because you submit, our bill is worth, it's a $1,100 bill, and they'll say, all right, bet, we'll pay you $300. You'd be like, okay, because you know you're going to constantly get paid for it, right? So medical doctors make a lot of money because that's what the market creates. You remove that middle person and you start telling hospitals, hey, I need to see your prices. And they give you some jumbled up, ridiculous thing. And you tell them, no, federal law says you have to give me the prices. Not the range, the actual price for this procedure. Well, we really can't tell you that because it'll change. No, federal law says you have. And so I've had people give it to me. And then if I thought that it was reasonable, I didn't go through insurance. I paid for it myself. And it wasn't that expensive because it's amazing how the cost goes down when you pay cash.
Mm-hmm.
That's why medical doctors make so much money.
That is true.
Yep.
But back to that salary, I mean, you've seen the salary too. And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It's not.
You want to pay these men and women to risk their life. And last time I looked, I lived in Pleasant Prairie, and Kenosha was asking a salary of $50,000 at that time a year to join the force. I'm like, no, I would not join no force for $50,000 a year. I wouldn't even join for $60 or $70. That is not worth my life. That is not. And so, with that being said, they need to go back to the drawing board.
So let me ask you a question. How many cops are killed in a year?
I couldn't give you that. All I know is that they putting their life on the line. That's enough to get a better salary than what they get. My nephew is a sheriff, and he loves it because his main goal is he gonna be the top sheriff. And
he got to run. He got to run for office then.
He's smart enough. He could have went to the FBI, but he chose Milwaukee because this is his town. He grew up here. He loved it. He joined the sheriff department, and that's his ultimate goal. And I say, hooray, go for it. He'll be good at it. He's very much a politician already because he's a nice guy, and he fits in wherever he goes.
Okay. Nice guy doesn't make you. But nice guy doesn't make you a good sheriff, though. You got to actually have a lot more than that.
He got a lot more than that.
You just saying that because that's your nephew. You just saying that because that's your nephew. Girl, stop.
I mean, I'm just giving you his credentials and stuff. If he was a bum, I would say, he's a bum.
Well, have him give me his credentials. How many years he got on the job?
You would have to talk to him.
So you talking all this? You talking all this nonsense? You don't even know.
Look, I'm an elderly person. I try to keep up with my purse strings and what's going on for the day. And
you don't sound elderly. You do not sound elderly. You sound like you in your 40s or 50s.
Please, those been like 20 years ago.
So you're in your 60s.
Not there anymore.
If you're in your 60s, you're not elderly. I'm sorry to tell you that. The way you be calling on the phone, hollering at me all the time.
My AAR discount say I am.
AARP started at 50, number one. So we ain't playing that game. Because I had it at, I fibbed and got it at 48. pay that $20 or $18 or something. So, but yeah, I think it's important.
One more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
One more thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to let you go. I know what it is when you were talking about that situation with, I guess, that supervisor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got fired behind a situation like that because I told on the supervisor to the HR, but they did it in a slick way. They didn't fire me right away. What they did is they tried to make it where I was uncomfortable at the job, so I didn't really get fired. I just got fed up with it. So they made it very uncomfortable. So when a job came up that I was qualified for, instead of hiring me for it, they brought somebody outside who didn't have no experience at that job and made me train them. Okay, so I trained them and stuff, and so that person was gracious enough to make a position for me so that I could move up a little bit more on the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So then they did some stuff to her, and then she left. So then when she left, I said, okay, I'm going to apply for the job again. But instead, they said, oh, the job is frozen. We're going to bring a supervisor in from another department to be over you guys and this, that, and other. So that's how they played it. They just kept bringing in other people, even though they wasn't qualified, and they knew I was qualified, just to get back at me because I reported some of the up to the HR.
Well, clearly you didn't go high enough.
I went to the federal government.
Okay. All right.
And they're no longer and the end result is they don't have the contract anymore.
Okay.
Because after that, the federal government put their eyes on them.
All right.
And it took them a minute, but they no longer have the contract. So I will tell anybody, hey, sometimes you just gotta
sacrifice.
If you see that your supervisor is doing something wrong, you need to speak up.
Did you talk to the supervisor first? But did you talk to the supervisor first?
Yeah, I talked to the supervisor first,
mm-hmm.
and then the supervisor told me that the CEO said if I don't shut my mouth, that she gonna fire my blankety blank.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, it's not going good.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I gotta say, because you saved the taxpayers' money.
Yeah, and the taxpayers should be grateful because it was a good program, but it was being ran wrong.
Yep.
And so the children were not getting what they need.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
All right, Dr. Ken.
All right. Take care. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
I don't really know if y'all's ready for this, but I got to tell you, next time y'all complain about stuff, Elizabeth Francis, you know who that is?
Sound familiar.
She died October 22nd. The oldest living American and the third oldest person in the world. Super septenarian. 115 earlier this year, died peacefully according to ABC News. Born in 1909. 1909. Francis was reportedly the 54th oldest person in the world, the 21st oldest American to ever live at the time of her death. Frances was born in Louisiana, longtime resident of Houston, respected and honored by family, political leaders, and members of the community. During her life, she ran a coffee shop as a single mother. She lived at home with her 95-year-old daughter, Dorothy Williams, and was alert to interactions and conversations around her, even without the assistance of hearing aids, noted global human longevity company LongeviQuest. Every day, she was able to look up at her walls and find proclamations from political leaders in Houston who visited her regularly. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump penned a message in remembrance of the Houston elder. He described her as a powerful pearl of wisdom. Single mother, ran a coffee shop. She abstained from drinking and smoking and stayed highly active throughout her years. She has a 69-year-old granddaughter. She lost her mother when she was 11 years old. Wow. 114, the elderly woman told ABC Houston TV station that she still felt pretty young. Healthy eating was the norm, constantly grew her own vegetables, cooked at home, and when asked about her status as an old and living American, she said, "I just feel like living every day." She said anybody who desires to reach her age should speak their mind and not hold their tongue. Well, I got to tell you, if that's the case, I might be 116 years old.
Number 4.
What are you laughing at?
Because that's what I said. I was like, oh, man, you might live forever then.
From blackenterprise.com, I'm for those of you that are Central State University grads, they've been placed on fiscal watch by the Ohio Department of Higher Education due to financial challenges. Department's Chancellor Mike Duffy made the announcement on October 25th, that's Friday, as reported by, I hate when this thing moves, as reported by WKBN, with the declaration the sole HBCU in the state of Ohio will receive support in its ongoing plan to improve its status. Central State must create a financial recovery plan, which will include increased financial reporting requirements and engagement from the Board of Trustees. Moreover, a state auditor will perform an evaluation on the school in addition to consulting on its budget and reporting procedures. So that's interesting. Classes are expected to run as normal for the university, which was founded in 1887. So their president, Maraquinho Cudi, told the Dayton Daily News that when I came on, I knew that things were not what they were supposed to be, so we wanted to inform the state as soon as possible, and we also wanted to get their assistance as soon as possible. It's a state school, for goodness sake. But, of course, it's an HBCU, and I guess we kind of know how that goes. Can't never quite get help when you need it.
Number 3.
This also from blackenterprise.com. According to WSB-TV, the HBCU, also known as Atlanta Spelman College, the current president, Dr. Helene Gale, is taking a personal leave of absence to begin immediately. On Friday, October 18th, the Spelman College Board of Trustees announced that President Helene Gale, MD, MPH, which is Masters of Public Health, will be taking a personal leave of absence effective immediately. In her absence, Roz Brewer, class of 84, chair emerita of Spelman College, has assumed the day-to-day duties as interim president. You know who Roz Brewer is? Used to run Walgreens. Used to run the Walgreens company. And so the statement said, we can assure you that Spelman will continue to operate seamlessly, moving forward in the spirit of our core values of care, commitment, integrity, reliability, and trust. Our utmost priority remains the well-being of everyone in our community as we strive to cultivate confident, responsible, and accountable students committed to personal development and success. So that's unfortunate, but then it's fortunate because she's stepping away from those duties and she's going to work at making sure that the school is actually running very, very well. Interesting.
Number 2.
This is a Black Enterprise Day. Martin Luther King III made a statement. His thoughts come as concerns over black men not voting for Kamala Harris became an issue for the Democratic Party. Martin Luther King III is urging the public not to blame black men for what happens in the 2024 presidential election. The son of the civil rights icon believes the election outcome does not rest on the backs of black male voters. However, he does believe that many are starting to point fingers at the demographic and will continue to do so even if Vice President Kamala Harris loses. King told USA Today this election is not going to be won or lost by the number of black men that support or do not support Harris, even though it's going to probably be razor thin. You can't go and say, well, it's black men's fault. That's where it seems like it's trying to go. His words come as concerns over black men voting for Harris became an issue for the Democratic Party. According to the New York Times and Siena College October survey, 70% of black men intended to vote Democrat this election. This number is significantly lower than President Joe Biden's support from the identity group, which was 87% in 2020 per the Pew Research Center. To win this election, King said, it takes a coalition of men, women, of black men, of white men, of every Latino and Hispanic person, and in some cases, Native American. Democratic heavyweights such as former President Barack Obama have leaned into the fears of black men slipping away from the party. Oh, I hate that phrase, lean in. If I hear that one more time, I'm going to scream and punch somebody. It's just anyway. During his speech at Harris's campaign office in Pittsburgh, Obama directed his thoughts to the group. In his criticized message, he suggested that their hesitation stems from issues with a woman as president. Again, people are on this thing that you have an issue, it automatically goes to you having an issue with women. And I don't think it's that at all. At all. It's misogynistic. How do you know? Like, literally, how do you know? The former president said, you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, I'm just speaking to men directly, makes me think that, well, if you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president and you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. First of all, love Barack Obama to death, but how dare you question what I feel or I believe if I'm not going to vote for somebody? That's my prerogative, right? That's that person's prerogative to vote or not vote for whatever reason, misogynistically or not. But to say that, to almost shame a person into voting a certain way because, you just don't like women. What? What evidence have I given you I don't like women? What evidence have people given you that said, yeah, we gotta look at this person because, something's they've said something in the past, they've done something in the past, something. Yeah, I find that a little, trying to think of the right word to use because I don't want to get myself in trouble because, you know how I get sometimes. The way I go, I might be living till I'm 70. So now I'm trying to find my last story so I can go to break. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to break. When we come back, we'll go to break. And then we'll hit number one for the top 5 at 5.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Friday Night Lights officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School championship football. Be sure to tune in every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice is a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom. It's a right to have a child. It's a right to not have children. And this next part, is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella. The durability of materials gets tested tens of thousands of times to ensure they last for years to come. Pella offers custom colors and innovative features like shades between the glass. And right now, celebrate Gina Della's 60th birthday with 0 for 60. Put 0 down, get 0 interest for up to 60 months. Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right. I'm getting tired of your shit. You don't never buy me nothing. See, every time you come around, you got to bring Jim, James, Paul, and Tyrone. See, why can't we be by ourselves?
Yep. 833-212-1017 is the number. Milwaukee time is almost here. We've been entering Truth fans into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway for the last 3 months. This Thursday, October 31st, we will be finally picking our next one call. That's all $5,000 giveaway winner. It might be you. Be sure to tune in to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on Halloween, so you don't miss your call, because if you do, we go down to the next caller and we'll just keep calling and calling and calling until we find our $5,000 winner. Again, that's the big, humongous, the spectacular Gruber 5K giveaway. That's this Thursday, Halloween morning, on Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So, y'all better be listening and answering your phone, because you know how it go. You know what I'm saying?
Number 1.
So, I put these stories in here so that people always, you always pro-police, you always support the police, you always, well, I always put in when the police go to jail. I'll talk about it. From JS Online, a former Waukesha County Sheriff's lieutenant has been sentenced to 4 months in prison and a year of supervised release after smuggling marijuana and a cell phone to an inmate in Waukesha County Jail, the U.S. Attorney's Office said last week. 34-year-old Johanna Grace pleaded guilty to the offense in federal court last July, and prosecutors say Grace coordinated with associates outside the jail on multiple occasions to bring contraband, some weed, marijuana, into the facility. Tipster outside the jail alerted authorities to her misconduct. Grace shared internal law enforcement reports with her associates, he said. This is U.S. Attorney Gregory Hanstatt, who confronted the tipster. Grace acknowledged that she obstructed justice. Today's sentence is a direct result of an individual abusing her authority and violating the trust of the residents she was entrusted to serve and protect. U.S. District Judge J.P. Stadtmuller said in a sentence of imprisonment was required to deter others, and that Grace's request for a probationary sentence was not appropriate according to the release. The case was investigated by the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, and the FBI. Grace is facing separate charges of allegedly abusing a resident of a penal facility in the death last year of Waukesha County Jail inmate Randy Glenn Jr. She was arrested January 16th, 2023. Glenn was arrested in a traffic stop for probation violation that was connected to a prior drug convictions. Glenn was found dead in his jail the next morning. The autopsy report found 5 small bags of roughly 10 grams of cocaine in his stomach. Grace and Deborah Link, a jail nurse, were charged with abuse of residents in a penal facility, a felony. Both are scheduled for a hearing in that case November 8th. So, wow. What are we doing when we check officers to make sure they, don't get in trouble and don't, are we going back and forth, or are we just having a really poor screening process? But here's the kicker. It's almost 600,000 cops in America, federal, state, county, and local. We hear about 5 of them, and then we say all cops are bad. We hear about 100 of them, and we think all cops are bad. And they're not. They have a significant number of violations that are significantly lower than the general public. I always argue with people, they're not held to a higher standard. They're held to the same standard you are. They just should be able to uphold it better than you. And when you can't, well, you go to jail. 833-212-1017 is the number. Your thoughts and more.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
I'm done voting for Democrats this year. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Senator Baldwin's policies have crushed Black Americans. We are paying more for food, clothes, and everyday items than ever. It's harder than ever to find affordable housing. Democrats say defund the police. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Who pays the price when there aren't enough cops on the street? Whose neighborhood gets violent? We see that violence and pay that price, not people in the suburbs. It's folks like us trying to go to work, take care of our kids, live our lives, wondering if something's going to happen on our block. How about jobs? Democrats let 12 million illegal aliens come here the last 4 years, who are they taking jobs from? Not people in the suburbs. They take those jobs from us. I'm done voting for Democrats this year.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Hovde for Wisconsin.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cobbs Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
Still seeing some slowdowns on the bypass heading south from National Avenue down and around the hill to about Forest Home. So give yourself that extra time. Eastbound 94 slowing from just east of 76th Street all the way to about 27th. The westbound side is going to be a little backed up from 16th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard. And then some delays along southbound 41 from Hampton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy, isolated thunder showers, very mild and breezy, a low of 58. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy and warm, a high of 80. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Green Bay Packers snagged their fourth straight win on Sunday afternoon. Jordan Love exited the game early in the third quarter to a groin injury as Malik Willis orchestrated a game-winning drive to put the team in field goal range for kicker Brandon McManus.
McManus for the second straight week. A Green Bay Packers game-winning field goal.
The 30-27 win, the Packers improving to 6-2 on their season.
Really proud of our guys. Just it wasn't our cleanest game, I would say, but I thought just the ability to find a way to get it done. Ultimately, that's what it's all about.
Next up for the Packers is the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field on Sunday afternoon. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks fell for the second straight time. This one in Brooklyn to the Nets by a final score of 115-102. They'll get right back at it tonight in Boston. Tip-off for that game is set for 6:30. And lastly, over to baseball, where the World Series will march on tonight, this time in New York. The Dodgers currently leading that series 2-0. Game 3's first pitch set for 7:08. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You gon' hurt your back, dragging on them bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you how you must.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Oh, look! The caller is calling to support Erykah Badu and Jason, and it's 42 minutes after the hour, and I got to take another break. No, I'm just kidding. 833-212-1017 is the number. The caller, what you want, man? What's up with Erykah?
Good, Doc. How you doing?
What's
man,
up with Erykah?
we missed you last week, man. I hope you had a good time on assignment.
I wasn't on assignment, so stop saying that. I tell everybody, stop saying I was on assignment. I was at the International Colloquium for Black Males in Education in Pittsburgh, and I gave a speech about how to keep kids from getting in trouble in schools with the police.
Okay.
And how implicit bias drives how the police deal with kids in schools. That's all.
Oh.
So I gave a
very honorable way to spend your week away from your loved ones here at Truth Nation, my brother.
Y'all ain't loved ones. I tolerate y'all.
You think we ain't loved ones?
No, man.
Man. Anyway,
So what kind of ridiculousness do you have to talk about Erykah Badu?
Well, actually, if you're patient with me now.
Nope, because we are short on time, so you have literally a minute.
Okay, I'll be quicker then.
Yes, sir.
But I want to ask first, how did you feel about Nina Simone as an artist?
I loved her.
Okay, so what I'm going to
Nina
challenge
Simone
you to do
smokes Erykah Badu, so don't even try it.
And whenever we're talking about talent of artists, we want to say, in my opinion, or any athlete or anything, if we want to be accurate, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay, so that means I'm right if you're still listening.
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
no, it doesn't. That is not tacit consent, sir. Stop. You got 20 more seconds.
Because I know that you love great performers, is to take some time and go on YouTube and look at some of her live performances. And you may find that she is somewhat of Nina Simone meeting Shaka Khan, if you can understand what I'm saying. She has a great depth that I think you'll enjoy.
Who?
And so give her a chance.
Who?
And then maybe we'll talk about this again in another 2-3 weeks.
You act like I don't know who you're talking about. Anyway, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. God bless. Take care.
That's all I want to say. Give a sister a shot.
All right. Give who a shot? Nina Simone or Erykah Badu? Erykah ain't getting it. Next. There's no job. The caller says the caller been calling me on the phone, harassing me on the radio. Wayne is true, though, and I didn't think about it. I was just reading the story because that's the story that was on Black Enterprise, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Wilberforce University, founded by the AME Church, is another HBCU in Ohio. They talk about Central State is. I think that might have said it's the only public HBCU. So that's true, but it's not the only HBCU. So very correct. Thank you, Wayne. Carolyn checked you very well. All officers on the scene when George Floyd died. Well, no, they shouldn't have all gone to jail because some of them were. I'm not going to explain it. I'm not for the cops. Some of them should have been in jail. Some of them should have not, because that's like holding a rookie doctor responsible in surgery because they were in surgery and they should have known what to do. It just doesn't make any sense. You just don't like the police, and that's okay. But then say you don't like the police. They said, how is it that firefighter training can be 85 to 90% common across all states and it's not the same for policing? That's not true. Firefighting is not the same all across the state. The hours, the time you have to spend in the academy, the training, some have what I don't know what you call the fire cadets or police aid, right? That program, some people don't. It changes from place to place. So no, I don't think so. It's just me. But there's a National Fire Academy and there's national standards per se. But firefighting, locally, you get to decide how many people you want on a truck, how many people you have here, it's not just, you just whirl in and say, this is what it is. That's not, I wouldn't, 85 to 90%? No. I think there's some federal things that have come to play, just like in law enforcement. There's some things that the U.S. Supreme Court has said, you got to do these things. I guess you could say 85 to 90% of police departments follow that. But when it comes to certification, it's a state thing. You're certified by the state where you are. It's not in the Constitution. When it's not in the Constitution, it's left to the state. Education, jobs, law enforcement, those types of things are left to the state. That's why the state has to do those things. The cause of horrible take, good doc, human beings on every continent on this planet. Okay, you're being emotional. Okay, I get it. I was speaking in technical terms because, anyway, he's the only one. And then on top of that, he likes Erykah Badu. I didn't say I didn't like Erykah Badu. I just don't like her music. I think Jason's going to come after me, so I'm going to go to commercial break because he looked like he's going to put that down, Jason. Don't be trying to pick up nothing to throw. He just threw something at me. You see that? Y'all see that? No, y'all didn't see that. It's terrible. All this for Erykah Badu.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, the election is less than 2 weeks away, and we are excited for our final The Truth on Politics on Tuesday, October 29th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This show will break down the 2024 election and discuss whether VP Kamala Harris or former President Donald Trump is the best candidate for our community. Do not miss the last The Truth on Politics on Tuesday, October 29th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Dr. Ken Harris, Sherwin Hughes, Tori Lowe, and Jason Fields on the award-winning 1017 The Truth and streaming live on YouTube. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice is a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom, it's a right to have a child, it's a right to not have children, and this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMU.org for more information.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm attorney David Gruber. We've helped injured Wisconsinites for more than 30 years. Trust our hometown team to get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Now that's some music. Thank you. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. All right, Jason, this comedian that was in Madison Square Garden that's told jokes about Black folks and Hispanic folks and Puerto Rican folks and white folks and everybody. Your thoughts?
I think that it was a little racist.
Why? What made it racist? Because he was talking about Black people?
You know, calling Puerto Rico island of garbage and saying carved out watermelons.
So you can't make jokes. Now that was funny though. Black people carve Halloween things out of watermelons instead of pumpkins. Come on, see, you even laughing at it.
I get the joke, I get all that,
but a white guy said it, so it's bad.
Well, it's just the whole context behind it. He's speaking at a Trump, whatever.
So if he spoke at a Democratic rally, he probably would have been canceled and fired, so it wouldn't have mattered. Right?
I feel like he shouldn't say that at no Democratic rally or not either.
So where has comedy gone to the point where now the only people that can make fun of Latin people are other Latin people, that black people is other black people?
I think it's just the fact that he's attached to Trump in some way. So if
he's not. He was just hired to open. He's not attached to Trump any more so than an opening act for the Beyonce is attached to Kamala Harris.
And I feel like if Beyonce went out there and said something crazy like that, we'd be on Beyonce.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I feel like if he was
no, you would not, and you know it. At least be honest. At least be intellectually honest. They ain't gonna be on Beyonce.
Because that's just crazy. If he was on the stage on his own show, doing his own comedic thing, that'd be different. But the fact that he was so like,
I get it. I get it. The context, but at some point, ain't y'all a little sensitive? Because I'm telling you, Richard Pryor said some stuff about black folks. I'm just saying. I
watched a documentary on Richard. Richard was
Eddie Murphy. I'm just saying. So we get a little sensitive, but I think I'm gonna go back. Did they record it?
Yeah, they recorded it.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it and see what's up with it. I think I'm gonna go back and check it out and see what's really going on with this, because y'all be crying, they ain't talking about me, mama, and all that. And I'm sorry. If it's racist, I'm going to say so. If it shouldn't go, I'm going to say so. But I don't care what anybody says. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a dope. And I refuse to ever listen to anything she ever says. I don't care what it is. At all. So the fact that she didn't like it would probably make me like it, just because she didn't like it. Now, I respect Tim Walz. I respect Kamala Harris. If they said something they didn't like it, I'll probably play it I'll probably drive through her district and play. Like, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I don't really know her. So.
Yeah, lucky you. I don't know her either.
No, I don't know. Nothing she do.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe's show is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you hang around tomorrow for Truth in Politics. We're going to be going all day till 8 p.m. God bless. Take care. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. If DJ Brother Z was here, I appreciate him for backing me on Erykah Badu. And I'll see you later. I'm out.